Hello students. In this video, we are we will get some idea about income exempt from tax under section 10. With respect to under mentioned cases, income is exempt from tax and it does not form part of total income. That means what? This income will not consider as income at all, and you have to just understand the concept and what is the logic behind that you have to understand. And some of the incomes we had already covered in the chapter salary, and that you will get in I button also. So agricultural income section 10 subsection 1. So in that it is very simple rule. If any agricultural income is arises from a land situated in India, then it is totally exempt. So that means if land is situated in India and if it is a agricultural land and that income is arising from agricultural activity, then it is totally exempt under section 10 subsection 1. Here you have to remember, if agricultural income is outside the India, that means land is situated outside India, then in that case it is taxable. Now exemption is not available. So when exemption is available, when land is situated in India, then only agricultural income is exempt under section 10 subsection 1. Now receipt by a member from a Hindu undivided family, section 10 subsection 2. The same point is discussed. Amount received by a member from income of the HUF, section 10 subsection 2. As explained in chapter 1, a HUF is a person and hence a unit assessment under the act. That means HUF is taxable under Income Tax Act as a different entity because it is also a person. Income earned by the HUF is accessible in its own hand and not in the hands of its member. That is the logic. In order to prevent, this is important, in order to prevent a double taxation of one and the same income, once in the hands of HUF which earns it and again in the hands of a member when it is paid to him, section 10 subsection 2 provides that member of HUF do not have to pay tax in the respect of any amount received by them from the family. Very simple reason here, because HUF is a person and as a HUF is paying tax on the income earned by that HUF family. Now any share is received by a member from HUF, then it is not taxable to avoid double taxation. So this exemption under section 10 subsection 2 is given to avoid double taxation. That you have to remember. Why? Logic is very simple. Logic is to avoid double taxation because HUF is already paying tax, so there is no need to pay tax. So that in case of member, the exemption applies only in respect of payment made by HUF to its member out of the income of the family or out of the income of the impartible estate belong to the family. Now Mr. A member of HUF, received rupees 10,000 as his share from the income of the HUF. Now in this what Mr. A is receiving one mem and Mr. A is a member of HUF family. He is receiving 10,000 as his share from the HUF family. Now question is whether it is chargeable in the hands of Mr. A. Answer is examined with reference to the provision of Income Tax Act 1961. So what is the answer? No. Such income is not includable in Mr. A's chargeable income since section 10 subsection 2 exempt any sum received by individual as a member of HUF where such sum has been paid out of the income of the family, because in family is already paying tax on it, so there is no need to pay tax by their member. Share of profit from a partnership firm, section 10 subsection 2a. If any partner is receiving any firm, any share from partnership firm, the same logic applies. Section 10 subsection 2a will give the exemption, and reason is very simple, to avoid the double taxation. Like share of a income of a partner, section 10 subsection 2a, this clause exempt from tax partners share in the total income of the firm. In other words, the partners share in the total income of the firm determined accordance with the profit sharing ratio will be exempt from tax. So whatever partners is getting from the partnership firm is liable to pay tax on it, but partner is not liable to pay tax on it. So income tax department has made very clear that who will pay tax on the profit earned by partnership firm. Partnership firm will pay the tax, not the partner, because partnership firm is also one type of person, and he is eligible to pay tax on the income earned by that firm. Interest to non-resident, section 10 4 and 4b. So if any interest received by a non-resident means the person who is not residing in India, then not, that means more days he is residing outside India, then any interest received to them by to a non-resident, it is not taxable, it is exempt under section 10 subsection 4. Means why this exemption is given, logic is very simple: to attract more and more non-resident to invest in our securities, so that interest paid to them is exempt from tax. If it is exempt, they are more attracted to invest in our country. Now, leave travel concession in India, fees for technical services, gratuity, pension, leave salary, retrenchment compensation, compensation received at the time of voluntary retirement, amount on life insurance policy, payment from provident fund. These are some point that we will cover in salary. So that is why we will not cover here. Just I will give brief idea about it. Leave travel concession means any LTC benefit is given by employer to employee. It is exempt under section 10 subsection 5 to some extent. Detail we will discuss in the chapter salary. Fees for technical service. If any fees is paid for a technical service, then is exempt under section 10 subsection 6c. Gratuity, pension and leave salary, these all we had covered one separate video. You can go through it and get the detail about it. Retrenchment compensation means if employee is retrenched from the job, then at that time whatever compensation is provided to them, some that is exempt under section 10 subsection 10b. But calculation is to be done. Compensation received at the time of voluntary retirement, if per employee is taking VRS, in that case also say section 10 subsection 10c is applicable and exemption is available. Amount on life insurance policy, if any person is receiving any amount on account of life insurance policy, that is also exempt under section 10 subsection 10d. Now payment from provident fund, payment from a approved superannuation fund. If anybody is providing to your PF account or superannuation fund, it is exempt up to certain extent. House rent allowance we had covered section 10 subsection 13a. Special allowances, that also we had covered in the chapter salary. Interest on security, there are certain securities on which you will get certain exemptions. Now payment from Sukanya Samriddhi account, section 10 subsection 11a. Section 10 subsection 11a provides that any payment from an account open in accordance with the Sukanya Samriddhi account rule 2014 made under government's saving bank account 1873 shall not be included in the total income of the assessee. According to the interest accruing on deposit in, that means interest is also exempt, and withdrawal from any account under the said scheme would also be exempt. So it is based on the concept of triple E. Now next one is educational scholarship, section 10 subsection 16. The value of scholarship granted to meet the cost of education would be exempt from tax in the hands of the recipient, irrespective of the amount or source of scholarship. Now means if any person is receiving any scholarship, then that scholarship is also exempt from tax. Now payment to MPs and MLA. So this payment to any MPs and MLAs, section 10 subsection 17, is exempt. Like daily allowances received by a member of parliament or any state legislature or any committee thereof, that is whatever daily allowance is there, it is received by MP, then it is totally exempt from tax under section 10 subsection 17. Constituency allowance of MP. In case of member of parliament, any allowance received under any member of parliament constituency allowance, rule 1986, that is also exempt. Constituency allowance to MLAs, any constituency allowance received by any person by reason of his membership of any state legislature under any act or rules made to the that state legislature is also exempt from tax. Very simple. Now any award for literally scientific and artistic work and other awards by the government, section 10 subsection 17a. So any award instituted in the public interest by the central and state government or by any other body approved by central government, and a reward by central government and state government for such purpose as may be approved by the central government in public interest will enjoy exemption under this clause. Means what? If any award is given by central government and state government in public interest for literary work, scientific work, or artistic work, then that is totally exempt under section 10, subsection 17a. Pension received by recipient of gallantry award, section 10, subsection 18. If any individual receive any award as a individual is exempt from tax if it is gallantry award, like such individual was an employee of a state government or state government and has been awarded paramveer chakra, mahavir chakra, veer chakra, and other such gallantry award notified by the central government in this behalf, is totally income, because at that time it is exempt. In case of death of such individual, any income by way of family pension received by any member of the family of such individual shall also be exempt under this clause. That means in case of family pension received on the occasion of death of that person, on the event of the death of the person, then it is also exempt. Family in relation to an individual means, family here means spouse and children of the individual, and parents, brothers and sisters of the individual, or any of them wholly or mainly dependent on them. Family pension received by family member of a armed force, that is totally exempt under section 10 subsection 19. Notional property income of any one palace occupied by a former ruler, section 10 subsection 19a. Notional means not real. Any income, property income of any one palace which is occupied by former ruler, in that case that income is chargeable in the hands of that person who is occupying, is exempt. That means what? Not chargeable to tax, but it is totally exempt. Let us say Mr. X is a former ruler. In that case he is having two palaces, one palace at some place and other place at some other place. Now government will give exemption notional income on this one palace, any one palace. That means he can occupy, he can consider income of any one palace, and exemption is available under section 10 subsection 19a in case of the this palace. So that is concept about palace. Okay, when person will get exemption, so in this exemption is available to a former ruler who is occupying more than one palace. Income of a local authority, if local authority is generating any income by selling their particular units, or by selling particular providing some activities other than specified activity, then that income is totally exempt from tax. Income of a approved research association, section 10 subsection 21. So that approved research association is earning certain income, and if it is approved under section 10 subsection 21, then also it is exempt from tax. Next one, income of a professional institution, section 10 subsection 23a, and income of a educational institutions. That means if any educational institutions are there, and or professional institutions are there which are registered under 1023, and or educational institution registered under 1023c, then whatever income that they are generating, it is totally exempt from tax. That you have to remember. Just you have to remember the names: income of a hospital, income of a trade union. Now these are the points that you have to keep in mind, when income of a hospital, income of a but all incomes are not taxable. They have to certain satisfy certain criteria, then only it is exempt from tax, otherwise it is not exempt from tax. Income of provident fund, section 10 subsection 25. Income of a minor, section 10 subsection 32, it is totally exempt. In case of minor, 1000, income up to 1500 of a minor is exempt from tax, and remaining amount is taxable. Means let us say Mr. X is income is 1 lakh. Now his minor income is 2000. Now what amount of exemption is available to Mr. X? Now this minor's income will be clubbed into the income of Mr. X. That means it will be added into the income of Mr. X, but he will get exemption of rupees 1500 under section 10 subsection 32. So what is taxable? 500. So in that case only 500 is taxable. So what is the income of Mr. X now? 1 lakh 500. So this is the case that you have to keep in mind. All income of minor is not taxable. For each minor, every minor he will get 1500 as a deduction. So these are all about, just you have to remember the name. In MCQ there are certain incomes which may be asked in MCQ. How MCQ can be formed from this, like in case of minor, what is the limit? 1500, that you have to keep in mind. Now one MCQ can also be kept, like which income is exempt to avoid double taxation. So in that various options are given, like agricultural income, gratuity, pension, and receipt by a member from a Hindu undivided family. So what is your answer? Received by by a member from Hindu undivided family, because it is to avoid a double taxation. Now that MCQ also can be asked, which exemption is given to attract a foreign investor to invest in our securities. So that is, different options are given. In that case, what is your answer? That interest received by NRI, interest on securities to received by NRI, that is totally exempt. Why government is giving exemption to NRI? Because they government want to promote investment. So that is why here it is given interest to a non-resident. So this way some exemptions are given. Like this question can be asked in this way also, which of the following is covered under the chapter salary? Then in that case you have to identify. Then this question can also come in 5 marks also. List any 10 incomes which are exempt under section 10 in long question. So in that case, just you have to write down. List means just you have to write down the names of the income. You don't have to explain it, and you have to write down 12 or 15 incomes, 12 incomes, because 10 incomes is given, but you can write down 12 incomes which are totally exempt from tax. So this is all about exempted incomes. If you have any doubt related to any income, you can write down in a comment box. I will reply to your queries. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.